Off the iron to Mobley, forecourt to Lamar Stevens. To the basket for a jam. Wow. Stevens on the drive against Muscala.
16 and 13 now.
That's a night, I think. He's the one that kind of just fills all the voids for this group.
9-0 run for the Knicks.
Levert who inbounded the basketball. Now it's Stevens. Stevens takes the mid-range jumper and gives the Cavs here in this first half. Love to an open Stevens. Stevens into Bertans. He banks and scores. Ranges out of the corner into the paint. Deals to Stevens. Stevens had a look. Puts it on the floor. Has to hurry. Fades away. Just 7 at the half. He's been held to 2 points here in the third. Good no-look pass to Mobley. Now Stevens who explodes out of the court. As Mobley inside touch pass to Stevens, but it was Doncic, and that's picked off. Right by Lamar, 2-on-1. Stevens puts it up and in.
For about 2 or 3 minutes to get control of the game.
Stevens from the corner. Stevens pocket.
Overplay everything and then find the open man.
There's the open man at Stevens after.
Knew it going into the final week of play.
I knew it last month. Knew it the entire year.
Oh my goodness. Lamar Stevens. This organization as the tip is won by the Cavaliers, and we are underway. John Michael, Austin Carr, and Serena Winters. Great to have you with us. Mitchell in traffic. Stevens takes the feed from.
We got to see the Pat Bev show in Houston. He's bringing a lot of energy. Stevens, good defense.
9 on the offensive glass.
Solid evening.
Stevens from the corner. He's got it.
Yep.
Flick out to Mitchell. Oh, what a dart from Mitchell. In the corner, it's Stevens. He got it. He's 24 points, 10 rebounds. Here's Garland, draws 2. Cuts between them. Stevens knocks down the Mobley to a cutting Okoro. He's outside to Lamar Stevens, who triggers the mid-range. Not a foul on Beal. Ball out of bounds. Cavaliers with the possession here. Stevenson's fadeaway jump.
Make a pull-up jump shot.
And to go left, too. A 2-dribble pull-up. Mobley finding the cutting Stevens. Rebound here by Garland. Cavs have numbers. Here's Stevens. Slapped on the arm by Cal.
Now Garland once again. He finds the open man. Stevens is there. Banks and scores.
And again, they're in different areas than they normally are because of the change in personnel. And that was a...
Taking himself in toward Oubre. He muscled his way to the basket. Missed it. Got it back and lays it in. Work it off to Levert. Hayward has played only 93 games over his first 2 seasons in Charlotte coming into this year. Had trouble staying on the floor this season as well. Injuries have been a big reason why this Hornet team has struggled this season. As Garland off to Mobley. Now to Stevens. Stevens from the corner. He knocks it. Garland this time uses a Stevens screen. Goes back to Stevens. And Stevens 2 nights ago. Cavs 4-point victory as Mitchell off to a wide open Stevens.
Oh, that's huge.
Spins, 10-footer. No, tempted by Stevens. 3-point shot was an asset of this Miami team last season. As Stevens runs the floor, took the feed from Stevens. Off it goes to Rubio. Back to Garland. Garland to Stevens. Puts it up and puts it in.
Levert can't finish.
Oh, come on.
Nobody picks up the since halftime shooting threes. Levert. The corner 3 for the Cavs all year has been a problem. Mobley bounces in deep.
A good Oregon team, too.
Yeah. Cavaliers to Stevens. The turn and gun goes. Lamar Stevens against Isaiah Livers. Backs in mid-post. Turns baseline. Fall away off the high glass. And
All phases of the game world.
Stevens. 3. Got it.
Oh, my goodness.
Levert fighting and winning for Cleveland. The lob is thrown down.
Bound. Breaking away. Almost lost it in the lane. Rubio dishes it inside. Neto. Cross courts to Stevens. Jacks it up and hits it.
Woo! Here we go, Osman. Stevens flies in.
The next do.
Levert. Drive with a dish. Lamar Stevens inside, and it's 7.
Enviable position of LeBron James leaves, and he's the guy that is going to fill in for LeBron.
Garland with a one-armed intercept. He'll run the floor. Deal to Stevens. Stevens banks and scores. Garland works on Kenrich Williams. Off to Stevens. Stevens appeared to walk. Stevens gets to the paint. He knocks. Mobley picks up his dribble, finds a cutter, and Stevens, who lays it in. A PBL last season as Garland works it off to Stevens. Stevens twirls in toward man. Uses that strong upper body and drops staff here tonight. Osman bounces off to Mobley. There's Stevens. He spots up and drills a pool. Looks to creep baseline. Dumps it back to JaMychal Green. He got it knocked away by Stevens. Stevens to the basket. Look out. Garland to the top of the key. Relays to Stevens for 3. Stevens. Neto puts it on the floor. Underneath the basket. Keeps his dribble for a Stevens jumper.
And ready to go, and the team gets energy from Ricky.
Lamar inside to Stevens. Stevens.
Minutes in second quarter. Garland shuffles to the rim. Comes off to Stevens. He takes a dribble and late.
Mitchell works on a Baji. Back it goes to Stevens. Stevens has it. This time uses the love screen. Gets the switch. Finds the cutter in Stevens. Stevens late in the shot clock. Banks and gets the roll. Fires a 3 long. Tracked down by Markkanen, but Redden picked up by Stevens. Stevens to the basket. Lays it up and in. Checked by Conley. Looks to penetrate. Deals to Stevens. Stevens fakes a 3. Knocks down the top.
Nuggets doing some switching. In the lane, Stevens drops the rebound ahead. It's 2-on-1. Osman over the shoulder to Stevens, who puts it.
Osman got it off to Stevens at the last moment, and eaten by Williams. Stop that backdoor pass. Stevens got the jumper to go down.
6 apiece for Love and Williams. As Allen reads that, starts the break. Lamar Stevens, Euro steps to the hole.
He's got chased up the line by Nembhard. To the basket he goes. Turner. He works in toward Heel and finds it open. Stevens connects.
He had to go to the corner, and he realized Heel was out there, and he went out and contested the shot.
Terrific ball movement.
Passing, Tim Duncan. Stevens lines it up. Off angle. Ball movement. Mitchell doesn't take the 3. Once again, it's Stevens from the...
As Okoro in the corner. Feeds a cutter and Stevens. Stevens to the basket. Puts it up toward Van Vliet. Deals to Allen. Allen with a good catch. Can't finish, but Stevens can.
He has to get hot and hit consecutive baskets.
Stevens out of the corner, across the lane. He knocks it in.
It's a bit of a surprise for the second youngest team in NBA history to be able to figure that out.
As he has just been rebounding constantly. 41 rebounds over the last 4 games coming in. He's knocked down his 8-3 in the last 4 games. So doing so many different last 4 games. Here is Osman, double team. Somehow scored that pass out to Stevens. Stevens, and that's just a smooth move. Another clutch time game for OKC. Stevens outside.
Miles with a hand up. Tough step back. Wow, Carl came right. Revert.
He pushes off with that arm every single time he puts the ball on the
handle. Stevens inside, got the reverse.
Mobley steals to Stevens. Stevens in toward Brunson. Euro steps, floats, and scores. Evan Mobley.
Get that weak stuff out of here.
Stevens in toward Randall. Euro steps right.
Finding ways to get better, and it's great to have that, especially when you have your backcourt there as well.
That was a Rocket Mortgage built for six. And it's all Cavs. Showtime. Stevens from Garland.
He always gets his hacks in. Yep. He will have to be more careful tonight. Stevens, a 3-point shot, wide open. It's good. Kevin Love defended by Fultz. Height advantage. And Love hits. Mitchell. 3-point shot. Stevens got it.
And shooting nearly 37% from 3 tonight coming into the season. Here is Stevens into the lane. The follow-away jumper is good. Grant is on Garland. Off they come to Stevens for a foul. Grant tries again to bounce a pass here to a moving big man. The passes that the Blazers are making that are turning.
On these possessions going up against a high-scoring Cavalier team. Right to the basket. From the corner.
Mobley out to Mitchell. In the middle it goes to Stevens. He'll lay it up and in. Timeout.
Where they can be successful. Had that triple-double in the last game, doing the same thing.
Here's Lamar Stevens and Jovic. Cavaliers with Mitchell, Garland, Okoro, Mobley, and Allen. And that's
In the paint, kick out, quick touch pass across the floor there by Jovic.
2 scores by Osman. The lead for Mitchell. Back to Stevens. He wanted to dunk it. Settled for the one of the game. A couple minutes into the final quarter. That's Stevens for the 3.
Stevens. That's a gut punch.
The shot clock shows 6. Garland back to Stevens. Bats it to himself. Twist, fires. Tough shot. Now to Okoro it goes. Back to Stevens. Stevens steps into a 3 and knocks it. Garland off to Stevens. Stevens fires a 3. He knocks it down.
Use Donovan Mitchell as well. You just don't have a lot of depth for J.D. Bickerstaff. Great cut that time.
Osman. Now it's Stevens. The lay-in is good. Trying to go at Lopez once again. Turned it over. Stevens right down the lane for 2. Mobley. Watched by Gobert. Gets it up.
They're going to call 3 seconds on Kevin Love.
Amped out.
Wagner, his former teammate, finds Stevens. Stevens Euro steps to the basket and lays it in. Rubio at the foul line. Stevens got it.
Or basket that's blocked by Bataze. And that's based on what we've seen throughout the regular season. Who's in the rotation and who's not. There's over 18 points a game with the Charge this year. Kid number 5 is a find Stevens. Stevens banked.
Built with 3 different teams. That means they needed you for a specific reason. And you fulfilled that obligation.
Stevens spins and hits. Works off a Mobley screen. Stops. Feeds the corner. Stevens is there. He knocks it. Chris Finch pacing. Garland inside. Deals to a cutter and Stevens.
Bob, that's just being in a position you're not used to being in.
Lamar Stevens goes to Love. Shot clock down to 3. Stevens goes back. Dory back.
Run the fast break.
Stevens to the basket. He scored.
Pacers 8 of 14 from the field in the second quarter. That's better than 50%. And Stevens
right there. Neto behind you.
Oh, Neto once again. Garland goes to Steve.
Mitchell driving baseline, runs into a double team. Won't get it, but the tap in.
Explain something. As Levert cross court to Stevens. Stevens goes inside, goes right at top of the bank.
Darius Garland led the way tonight for the Cavaliers with 33 as Stevens across the lane. He floats. Lopez to the basket. Stevens works on Barton. Knocked away momentarily. Gets it back as Barton was complete. Here's Osman. Osman off to Stevens. Stevens breaks to the basket. He lays it in. Shots. Okoro outraces Murphy to the ball. Deals to Stevens. Stevens a good catch and a better finish.